Welcome to Transmissions, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers. On this episode, we tackle all the toy news from last week's Hasbro Pulse Con, including the Hall of Fame results, a Lite Brite Optimus, and of course, those wonderful new toys. Today is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022, and this is episode 506 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions. The podcast knows that if you want to break someone mentally, physically, and emotionally, just wait until they're happy. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Scott, the illustrious Dr. Vance.
Hello, everyone.
Creator, producer, and star of Empire Rust. Creator, producer, and star of Empire of Rust, editor Mike.
I think we should change our name to the Transmissions Justice Division.
Nice. And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
Hi. Let's talk Transformers.
And Charles is not here this week, so just
Thank God.
expect it to go off the rails completely. But as always, when we start the show, we start off by thanking our Donatrions, the awesome people that contribute to our Patreon or PayPal and help support the show. You guys are awesome. You can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support to join up and get perks like special channels in our Discord. You can get early access to things like Empire of Rust, which is our live play RPG podcast, the one and only, and also shows like we like Big Bots, which are hosted by Daryl and Scott, and you're automatically entered into things like our monthly Toy Hacks drawings. Our next drawing is next week. If you are not a Donatrion and you still want to enter, send a picture of a toy that you would like to get stickered up with some Toy Hack stickers to contest@transmissionspodcast.com by Sunday, October 9th to enter. And this has been a great thing. Toy Hacks just donates this gift code that we give out every month, and they have great stuff. Also, a number of Donatrions, I got an email today that they will be getting some of our exclusive merch from Patreon this week. I think it was like 28 people. So
Holy smokes. Awesome.
Lots of people should be due to get stuff soon. So look, if you are one of those people, look for it in the mail.
I'm one of those people.
Will I get something?
No.
Oh,
Well, you are a Donatrion, I believe.
I am.
But I don't know. I can't remember what level you support at. But before we go on, Mike, can you talk about Empire of Rust episode 86? Nobody Expects the Spider Inquisition, which came out for Donatrions on Monday.
I love that title so much. It was one of my most inspired ones. As you can imagine, they might see a spider. Maybe. And there might be an Inquisition. Who knows? I can't say. But yeah, so it was a really fun episode. We I'm not going to spoil too much on it, but we wrapped up a kind of a big event that they had planned for an episode or two. And everything went very smoothly, very swimmingly, right up until the end, as what happens with most RPGs.
Yeah.
It's a really fun episode, nice little twist ending to it. So yeah, certainly. I loved it. Came out real good. And take a listen and enjoy.
Awesome. All right. With all the intro stuff out of the way, let's move on to toy news because it's been a big few days.
Smooth.
So what?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll start off the show with quick hits, which are just some short news, and then we're going to get into the full Pulse Con all the details of everything that was everything that was revealed. So you have to excuse me. I am both producing the stuff and talking, and that I can barely walk and talk at the same time. So, PulseCon 2022, the Transformers panel, just a quick roundup of the non-new toy reveals part of it. They started off by having the stream viewers vote on the order of the panel, whether it was toy reveals, franchise updates, Hall of Fame, and of course, which I don't even think this was rigged, the toy reveals came first. So we'll be talking about that later. But they did announce the Hall of Fame, and I don't think he was voted in the Hall of Fame. Maybe he already is, but they recognized Derek J. Wyatt because of his work in creating Transformers Animated, and the character vote was Transformers Animated this year. So it was nice that they spent a good amount of time talking about Derek and everything he contributed, and that was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then the character vote, they actually called out that they did not expect this character to win, which I'm wondering if this is the first Hall of Fame vote that's not been fixed. But Lugnut won, which was really a surprise. But I can't. Who was it? They were expecting Blitzwing to win.
I think it was Blitzwing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said he came in second, of course, but. Yeah, I guess the votes were overwhelming for Lugnut, so that's awesome. Toy of the Year, which was anything released, I guess, in the last calendar year, was Legacy Motormaster. And they kind of said that, yeah, I know people were wanting to vote for Minosaur, but we didn't have all of the components out yet. So this is,
that's 5 toys. So
right. And then the human entry, they was the late Henry Ornstein, who was the catalyst in getting the deal between Hasbro and Takara to bring Diaclone over to the U.S. So that it's really awesome that his part in Transformers was called in, or kind of shown and. I personally, I didn't know his name. We all know about the deal, but I didn't know his name. So it's awesome to finally have a name and a face to go with the story. So that's all my part of the quick hits. Daryl, what do you have?
Yeah, so my part's really quick, and that's good because we're going to get into it later. They talked about Magic the Gathering. And I thought, well, wait, this is the Transformers section. Why are you talking about Magic the Gathering? Well, there's a new set coming out called Brothers War. Is it Brothers War, Mike?
The Brothers War. The Brothers War, specifically.
The Brothers War. Okay. So, and that set is going to feature a whole bunch of big-ass robots. And, the cartoon and toy that we like to follow is a bunch of big ass robots, so they're gonna kind of do a bit of a crossover here. And so we got some Transformers Magic the Gathering cards that are going to be tournament legal, and we're going to get into those a lot more into alt mode. So we got into that. I do want to make mention here. I know we skipped over it. There was a pre-show that happened, and I want to give props to Thu. Thu's awesome Transformers reviews. He did a phenomenal job in a live environment that was very obviously live. He is a person who works from a script and edits his videos heavily. So this is a fish out of water situation for him. And he rolled with the situation very, very well. I was very impressed with everything that he did. It was very funny and very much his personality. I don't know him personally, but he did a fantastic job.
You could tell he was nervous, and particularly at the beginning, but he settled in, and it was really good. I really got to give Hasbro props for pulling in someone like Thu. Just, I mean, pulling in the fan base like that.
Yeah, and they did a great job with that. For the while there, I thought, did they fly him all the way to the States just to do this? And then no, he mentioned it at the end. No, that they set him up in a studio in the UK to do this remotely. So
he was really in that cyber room.
He was in a cyber tunnel. Yeah. The part where I got to critique this whole pre-show is that they set it up, and then when it was over, there was nothing. They shut it down. They got everyone pumped up and hyped up for Pulse Con, and then they shut you down for an hour. They cut you off at the knees, and I thought, what the hell are you doing? Excuse me. So, guys, Hasbro, if you're possibly anyone is watching or listening to this, you can't shut you down after you pump everyone up. You got to roll right into the show after that. It's the whole point of a pre-show. You
lost a good percentage of the audience, I'm sure.
Yeah. A lot of us were ready, and, we were ready to sit there and keep going, and you lost us. So
especially because Transformers was first. So it's a natural lead in from Thu to the Transformers panel.
Yeah. Yeah. But Thu was great. And it was a fun pre-show, but you gotta roll right into the show after that. You can't just say, okay, see you in an hour, bye, and then leave. It doesn't work, guys. But other than that, it's learning. I know it's the first time you've done a pre-show, and this is all growing pains. So hopefully in 5 more years or so, you'll actually have this thing down. But
this kind of thing's hard.
Yeah. But Scott, what's your quick hit?
There was an interview with Nick Roche about Last Bot Standing, the 4-issue miniseries he did that basically was the end of the Transformers universe, but we'll discuss more about that in alt mode.
Mike, what you got?
Well, we got a really off the wall kind of thing on here. So
let's see what you did there.
So Lite Brite. I don't know if any of you younger listeners or younger viewers have heard of a Lite Brite, but I'll give you a quick little background on it. It's a pegboard, a lit pegboard that you put a template on top of, and then you put these acrylic pins or little bead pegs in there, and the light shines behind it. It lights up the pegs, and you got some lit art. And it's okay, this is kind of neat. I had one of these things when I was a kid, and I liked it for the arts and crafts thing, but I haven't thought about it in literally 20 years. But on Pulse Con, Hasbro goes ahead and announces a Lite Brite wall art Transformers artwork. So this is a pegboard that you can mount up on the wall. And there are 3 templates that you can use for some Transformers design. So we got Optimus Prime's head up there. We got Bumblebee, and we got the Autobot symbol. So it is wall mountable, and it's so you put the template on there and fill up the pegboard, hang it up, and there you go. So really interesting and something that I never expected to really see or think about again. But it's going to be $100. There's no estimated ship date just yet, and for some specific reason, they actually called out that they can't ship it to Quebec. Daryl, do you have any idea why this is?
Quebec sucks. Sorry.
All right. Good enough.
Just simply put, without getting into the weeds too much, language laws. We can't. I mean, it's obviously there's nothing written on the displays, but language laws. You can't. Quebec's stupid, so it's a beautiful province. I recommend anyone going there who wanted to visit. It's some really nice stuff to visit, but their language laws are bullshit. So
there's not enough French on the packaging.
Essentially, yeah.
Fair enough. But so this is it. It's an interesting thing to look at, and certainly not what I was ever expecting to come out. Each there's 6,000 pegs that comes with this thing. I don't think it's 6,000 pegs per design, although I could be wrong. There's actually an awful lot of them there. But point is, like, once you're tired of one, you can go ahead and go ahead and put the other one on there. So yeah, some really cool stuff. And once we get an actual
This
release
image
date,
here says that estimated release is January 9th, 2023.
Hasbro
screen.
Pulse. Hasbro Pulse says doesn't say anything
Right at
on
the
there.
top of the screen.
You know what? I don't have to look at shit, Daryl. Okay.
Well, I will say that I had a Lite Brite when I was a kid. I had no idea there were templates. I guess like,
Really?
I used one, and I just had the board and the pegs, and I just had to use my imagination.
So
the problem with
Stranger Things has brought back Lite Brite.
Yeah,
it
Nice.
was in the most recent season of Stranger Things. So
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you could actually, like, back in the day, you could pick up these like template packs. These are just like images that fit onto it, and then you just pop. You put the pegs in there, and that's that. Sad thing is, once you've gone through the template, there's holes in it, and you don't really know what color you're supposed to put in there again. So
yeah, because the templates were like what, black construction paper, basically.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting thing, and I'm sure we'll once the release date gets a bit closer, we'll talk about it a bit more, and if anyone picks it up, we'll see if anyone likes it and see how the people's opinions are. But yeah, one of the most bizarre, off the wall things that came out of Pulse Con this year.
Awesome. Well, now I guess with all that out of the way, let's get into some actual Transformer toy reveals. Daryl, it's all you.
All right, here we go. So they came out a swinging. So a couple of these I can remember off of some rumor lists. I mean, obviously we had heard about, we knew Breakdown was coming, but the rumor is that Breakdown was going to be he was going to ruin Menasor because he was going to be the Prime universe Breakdown, and nobody realized how that was going to happen. And they're like, what's going to work? How's this going to happen? And it was going to ruin Menasor. And I'm like, I know, but it's a rumor. And obviously the rumor was false, and it's a G1 Breakdown. But they came out with a slew of new images here, tons of new characters, tons of new figures to see. As I said, we saw a lot of these on like those leak lists, but it's one thing to see a list of things and another thing to actually see pictures. So, let's go through them here. You got them set up in any kind of list here, Jeremy, or I'm just gonna.
I'll find what you talk about.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the one right on the top of the screen, top left, and that is the Leo Prime, Voyager class Leo Prime. And
this will be fixed in the edit.
Okay, sure. He looks really good. I think they did a really good job on this guy, and he's got a lot of repaint potential. There's still they haven't gone completely away from the Beast Wars world, but they're touching onto that Japanese aesthetic as well, the Japanese universes. But another very white figure, so hopefully they've gotten a hold of the yellowing issue at this point, because that's still in the back of my mind. We'll continue on with the Voyager class, because this one kind of stole the show, and this is Voyager class Tarn, and hot damn, this is one that everyone's kind of been, he was on a list, so we thought, is he going to be able to? They're going to do it right, for a Hasbro mainline figure. I think they did it right. Now, when the discussions usually come up about between mainline and third party, usually the the point gets made, well, they're never going to be able to do a Tarn or the DJD in the main line. Well, here's your Tarn. Now, this flies in the face of any kind of argument about why third party gets done. But I will point out that the main comparison for this IDW Tarn in the main line is the MMC Coulter that has come out or did come out, and it's about the same scale. So it's in scale with the Voyager class. I want to dig into Tarn a little bit here because he's the main piece of cheese on this one. So first off, I did a little bit of research because I knew I was going to dig into this one. Tarn first appeared in More Than Meets the Eye number 7 in July of 2012. The MMC Coulter came out in February of 2017, so 5 years later. And Hasbro's Tarn, this new one, is set to be released in March of 2023. So that's a full 6 years after the Mastermind Creations figure comes out. The Coulter figure, it cost $120 when it came out. This Hasbro Tarn is going to be $34. It's a big drop in price. The height, Coulter is 8 inches tall. This Hasbro Tarn is 7 inches. Coulter is for ages 16 and up, and Hasbro's Tarn is 8 and up. So there is some significant differences there. You can there's the jury's still out on the quality of the figure, but it looks like a standard Hasbro Voyager class here. So before I go on and get into the rest of the reveals, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit more about Tarn. I probably should have saved him till last, but who cares? Charles is away, and the rules are out the window here at this point. What are your thoughts on Tarn here?
I visibly gasped when they revealed Tarn. I was just like, I don't know. I stopped what I was doing right away and just was like, I couldn't believe that they actually did it. I think he looks great. I mean, there are obvious changes that had to be made from like third party with no safety regulations and Hasbro that has to, like you said, it's 8 and up. So, he can't be as pointy and stuff as the third party figures are. But I think with all the compromises that have to be made for a mainline figure, I think they did a really good job. The colors are spectacular, and yeah, he just looks fantastic.
Right on. You think you'll pick one up, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Right on. Cool.
I totally will too.
Mike, what do you think? I'm looking for a little bit more of a critical eye from you. Jeremy loves everything. It's it's not, you're not really going to get him to say anything poor about much. So I'm looking for a little bit more critical from you.
All right. I can bring the negativity. It's no problem. All right. I'm actually going to start off with the things that I do like on this, because this is a really solid figure, and I think Hasbro really did an excellent job on a representation on this. I love that it's a Voyager size figure that has like wrist and like finger articulation that is just 10 kinds of badass. Here's my critique of it, and surprisingly, I'm actually not going to critique too much about the visual part of this, because I really actually do like the visual part of it. But I'm going to compare this to something. Remember that Generation Springer that came out, the Voyager one that came out 7-8 years ago now?
The Nick Roach design one.
Exactly. Yeah. That, at least for me, is one of my favorite figures of all time. It's certainly in the top 10 of all Transformers figures I've ever owned, if not in the top 5. It is a superbly solid figure. I've seen this kind of compared to that in terms of quality, and that Springer was a surprise. Like when it came out, and I got it, it was like, oh wow, this is like I got, because it was a new Springer, and then I realized this is a great toy. This already has that kind of anticipation coming in. If this doesn't deliver, this is going to be a huge disappointment for everyone. So it's
Sure.
already got that build up and that anticipation, and it's got a lot to live up to. And this is just from photographs alone. So I'm a little scared on that. I'm glad that the pictures that came out did show like the back and did show like around the side, so we're not seeing any hollowness for it. So that's super solid, and I'm really glad on that. But at the same time, I am going to stay cautiously optimistic on this because, again, a lot of anticipation with just how good the figure looks in photos. But once you get in hand, like you don't want it to go from like, yeah, this is going to be the next greatest figure in the world to, oh, this is shit. Like if this has like QC issues, oof, it's not going to go down well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Hasbro's QC has not been really great recently. So, if you get one that's got a bad, a loose elbow or loose knees, like what's been with the Sludge. Sludge has been, really bad with that. Or if you've got one, if the gray is yellowing on the thighs, like that sucks, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be really bad. So yeah, I hear you on that, and that's going to be something that that I'm going to want to look forward to. I'm totally picking one up, Mike. I assume you're picking one up as well. It's a $34 investment for you. It's I think it's $50 here in Canada, but it's a $15 jump because of the exchange rate. So
yeah,
it kind of sucks for us, but it's one of those figures that I think I just have to have. So I'm going to move on to Dr. Pants here because, I know Dr. Pants, you are also a likey the Decepticon Justice Division, but can you put a critical hat on here, and can you see anything that you might be worried about, or are you just like loving every minute of this?
Okay, I have a few things. Number one, this was actually not my favorite reveal of the show. It was good.
Oh.
It was good. You already went over my favorite reveal. It was Leo Convoy, Leo Prime. That was my favorite reveal. I almost lost my crap when that got revealed. Did not expect that to happen.
Oh,
but
nice.
Just because I love me some of the Japanese stuff that we're getting some of that. But
we can get back to it. Don't worry.
Oh, I know. We'll come back. We'll come back. But on Tarn, I want to bring up, because I thought this was really funny. And I don't know if I've brought it up here, but I've brought it up in other places. You talked about like QC issues with the current toys, and I want to say I actually haven't had really any QC issues lately with any of my stuff. I've gotten very lucky. Do you know what toy for me was ruined because of QC issues? That Generation Springer. I hated that.
Ooh.
My one arm was floppy. It couldn't hold anything up, and it never fit together. As hard as I tried to transform it, it never all went together. And I could not understand why everyone loved that toy. It was like, this isn't that great. I've gotten rid of mine since, and I have the War for Cybertron one because I like it better.
Then I think you and I are not going to be friends anymore after this. Especially once you hear my comments on Lio Convoy.
Listen, I know it's not perfect, but we'll get to that. But in terms of Tarn, like, I'll agree with Mike. This looks really, really good. And I love that we got to see the back and the fact that there's no hollowness. And we've gotten that a lot in recent figures. I mean, God, you look at the skids that we got in like Legacy, and that like the whole leg is just empty. But thankfully this one doesn't have it. I like to see that they're doing more of the pinned fingers, so they open and close, so we have more posing options. A lot of really great paint apps on this too. They went all out, like making him look accurate. I think my only complaint is something's not quite right with the proportions or something compared to how I remember him from the comics. Like something feels off, but I can't tell you what it is. Just something's different. But
it's the Decepticon logo isn't an Alex Milne drawn Decepticon logo.
It's like they used a stamp. How could they use a stamp? We want Alex to draw the
stamp.
We need to have Alex draw the Decepticon logo on each and every copy of this toy.
Well, speaking of Alex, I really want to give props to this figure's designer, Mark. And he was the one on the stream at the time, and he specifically called out Alex Milne for the design of Tarn in the comics. He said that he gave a lot of props and praise to the comics and the design of this character in the book, and made him just an incredible character and a really fun one to design. The one thing that I wanted to point out, and Jeremy, if you could go back to the alt mode, is there's the side, like the tank treads in the comic book. If I'm going to nitpick on this, the comic book alt mode, there is no, it looks like these tank treads are kind of double stacked on each other. In the comic book alt mode, they are not double stacked. They're one continuous tank tread. So that's if I'm nitpicking on something, that's the big one there. That's the only real one.
Toys again.
That's right. Yeah. So, but I like the way they've done this. The Voyager scale is where I would want to see this figure as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I will be picking it up as well. But let's move on, because there was more than just Tarn. I've already mentioned the Leo Prime. They did a brand new Junkion figure, and this one is also, or no, he's in where is he here? He's in the deluxe class, and he is Scrap Hook. Now, this here, I have to mention, apparently Scrap Hook is based on Charles's Empire of Rust original Junkion scientist character, Scrap Heap. And sure, Mike, you want to comment on that? You want to give us a bit of a elevator pitch on who Scrap Heap is and why they are the same?
So yeah, so Charles made for one of our special episodes, Charles made an original character called Scrap Heap. He is a Junkion scientist that turned into a tow truck, and this is a Junkion that turns into a tow truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Half of the name.
I guess there can only be one.
Yeah. I mean, it is a Junkion with the name Scrap in it, so I suppose just process elimination that'll eventually get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the moment we saw that, both Charles and I did the same thing. Actually, I think Dr. Pans, I think you did too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is eerily similar to Charles's character. So either they're copying Charles, or Charles and Hasbro have similar mindsets.
I like to think that there are Hasbro designers that listen to Empire of Rust.
Yeah, me too. I like that idea. You know what?
Why not?
I'm down with it. Hey, John Hasbro, I got some more designs for you if you need some help.
or if you want to join in as a special episode, I'm sure you can accommodate.
I definitely can.
You got this bear character that everyone's gonna love.
and you got some reissues for Polo Claw that you can recolor. So you know what? We're good.
So moving on, we're gonna I touched base and on the on Breakdown. So we do have Breakdown, and he is in the deluxe class of, obviously he's the fourth limb for Menasor. And he will be coming out in the first wave of this Legacy Evolution. But continuing on in the deluxe class, we've got...
There's something interesting about Breakdown that they brought up. The packaging, they're making it...
Oh, that's right.
Like
yes.
It's not going to be the Legacy Evolutions packaging. It's going to be the regular Legacy packaging for MISB collectors that want to not have a display that's messed up.
That's right. They did say that.
That is such a small OCD detail, but I love it.
I appreciate that. I'm not an MISB collector, but I know, like, collecting games and whatnot, when like companies switch the logo on the spine just a little bit, it's like it's not matching.
Yeah.
So,
but that's very cool. I did remember them talking about that, and how it was Ben who had to fight for that specific box to be used on Breakdown. Continuing on in the deluxe class, we are getting deluxe class Needle Nose, and Needle Nose is a character who who got a bit more prominence in the comic book, but he is a G1 character that has got his target masters, and he's getting some love here in the Legacy Evolutions line. And yeah, he looks really good. Yeah, I really like the way this guy looks. But the target masters as well, I forget their names, but yeah, looks great. Looks really great. We're gonna keep moving on, and we've got ourselves a hot shot, and he is actually known as Armada Hotshot. But he is the last of the deluxe characters, and this is for those Armada lovers out there. We got ourselves, the first question mark Armada character to be revealed in this line.
In this line,
no, Starscream,
right?
But this is Evolutions. Not in Legacy.
It's Legacy. It's the same. It's all Legacy. It's all Legacy.
Semantics. Let's semantics. So there's a poster that we just already talked about that teases something else that we'll talk about in a second. But we got our Armada Hotshot here, and he looks pretty good. For all of those Armada fans out there.
One thing I just noticed,
at least one.
One thing I just noticed, he has like place for an Autobots insignia kind of molded into him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one thing I liked about the Armada line was all of the faction symbols were kind of molded on the figures instead of just stickers. That's kind of an homage to that.
Now, moving into the core class line, I'm going to jump to the repaint that I didn't think they do in the core class, but they are going to do, and it is Sound Blaster. So they've already re-released Soundwave once, and now they're going to repaint him and release him as Sound Blaster. This mold is got a lot of legs already. But it's a great mold, and if you never got a chance to experience the Soundwave, then experience him as Sound Blaster. The one thing that I would say to this is I think Sound Blaster now should have the mercenary logo on him. I think he should, the Decepticon logo is fine for the actual Decepticons, but Sound Blaster, he gets the mercenary logo.
No.
If anybody does, it's him.
Nope.
No.
No.
Well, you can go to hell, sir.
You go to hell.
I'm going to go get my G1 Sound Blaster and put a mercenary logo on there just to piss you off.
See? So continuing on with the core class, we're going to do they released 2, and we did see both of these names on a like a stock list or one of those leaked lists. But we've got core class Sludge and core class Slug, and we're looking at both of these guys right now, but let's do Sludge first. And yeah, they're core class Dinobots, and they look pretty good. But they are a little odd because they sure, they're core class, but they've got a lot of kibble, and they're core class. You think, okay, well, maybe they don't particularly need to they don't transform overly well because they're such small figures. They have to have a weird little setup to do. But no, actually they combine. They're combining these core class figures. These core class Dinobots are going to combine into a Velocitron, and there's going to be a 6th one. Oh, sorry, Velocitron. Yes, Volcanicus. Sorry, another V word. So we got a Volcanicus coming, and it will include a 6th Dinobot. And Mark teased that if you know your Transformers history with regards to Dinobots, you should be able to guess the 6th member of this Dinobot team. I'm
Is it
putting it
gonna
out
be
there.
Paddles?
I think it's paddles. Yeah.
Awesome.
Paddles
Paddles.
is my vote.
Yeah.
It's-
So it makes sense with the sludge being the mold already. You just gotta swap out the legs, but
Basically,
know.
you just have to add feet or add paddles on the end.
yeah. So I think that's a really easy remold. But yeah, so I think it's going to be paddles. It works really well with what they're trying to do.
or Slash.
It could be Slash, but Slash is a completely different character, right?
Wasn't there also a
was-
Scorn in one of the comics?
There was Scorn was one of the live action Dinobots in
Oh,
Age of Extinction.
well, we
But
don't want
wasn't
that.
but wasn't Slash the sixth Dinobot they added in Power of the Primes?
Yeah, but
The
that's
Velociraptor?
history. Transformers history he's talking about. This is, I mean, that's not really history. That's like recent events.
I was thinking there was the one in like Redemption of the Dinobots, that Livia Remidelli, John Barber book that had, it was the two-headed
Strafe?
strafe.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Possibly.
But
Lots
that
of
was to
six Dinobots
replace
out there.
Swoop. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot. They could make another Dinobot team out of the other 6 Dinobots. But yeah, so that's very cool. You get Jeremy can show you pictures of Slug now, and yeah, he looks really good. He's got the red face, so he's back to being his. This is just standard Slug now. He's got a red head, so he's the G1 cartoon counterpart, or his deco. So he looks good for a core class figure. You got to remember, at core class it's hard to articulate all the plastics. So there's got to be some kind of you know you got to make some allowances.
With them being pictured on this sand, does it look kind of like they're in a tar pit?
Yeah.
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 Both him and
Yeah.
Sludge, I was like, are they in a tar pit? That's kind of mean.
And when you look at Sludge, like, he doesn't look like he's got back feet,
Right.
so it looks like he's sinking in.
Mm.
But
Yeah. All right, and then we're gonna move on to they showed off the double pack that had been teased at was it San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah.
This was the Orion packs and Alpha Trion. This is the Evolutions 2-pack, I think. Is that what they're calling it? I don't remember. A Hero is Born 2-pack. That's what they've called it. So this looks great. This is apparently a Pulse Hasbro Pulse exclusive. We'll see how long that lasts. So may end up at a Target, or you may see a whole shit ton of them at Ollie's. So who knows? But I would like to find one of these because it looks pretty cool. But I'm not going to be heartbroken if I can't find one.
I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah, I mean that cup mold, it's really versatile. You can make like 4 or 5 different
Yeah.
versions of cups, and you can make RAM packs.
The last one that they revealed, I don't think anybody, I mean, they saved it. We'll save it for last because we can probably just gloss over it really quickly. Nobody really cares about it. It's shattered glass. It's just, I mean, it's already been out. They've produced another one. Yeah, just flip past it. It's shattered glass Soundwave.
Yeah.
but it's the Netflix version.
I was getting to that.
Oh,
So yes,
I didn't know you were being sarcastic. I'm sorry.
So yeah, they've shown off. We all knew that the 5th issue of the Shattered Glass 2 miniseries, the final issue of Transformers comics that IDW is going to put out, is going to be Shattered Glass Soundwave. They have now released and shown off images of the figure that will be coming out, and it is the Netflix Soundwave, the very popular and hard to find one that we found out was, licensed to
Target
Walmart.
or Walmart.
And I guess by making it a different character, by calling him Shattered Glass Soundwave, and changing the colors, it is a little loophole in their contract. So, or it's expired. I don't know. I don't think it's expired, but it seems like it would be they'd still hold it for a little while longer. They have given this a new head, because this head does have a green bandana on it, or I guess it's a headband. But yeah, so he's got a little headband, and because it's the Netflix version, it does come with the minions. So he's got a Laserbeak and a Ravage, and yeah, they look pretty good for Shattered Glass figures. So yeah, I'm going to start with Dr. Pants. I'm going to open it up to you. I wanted to see what you thought about all of these things. There's a lot here to talk about. So maybe don't go over everything, but give me your highlights, a couple highlights and a couple lowlights if you have any.
Highlights: Shattered Glass Soundwave with the bandana, and it turns into a tape deck. That is the only thing I pre-ordered. That was the only one I got on Hasbro Pulse and pre-ordered, because I had to. Yeah. I already said Leo Prime, Lio Convoy, however you want to say it. I am going to say that figure, like the lion mode head, looks like garbage. I hate the lion face, but I love the robot mode. I love me a Leo Prime, Lio Convoy, and like I am going to buy it because I want to ensure that we see more stuff like it. He's not going to stand in lion mode. I don't care. I don't care. And I will say this. I think the lion mode overall looks better than the Masterpiece lion mode did, even if the face is crap. Yeah, the face was better on the Masterpiece, but I think this does a better job of being a lion in general than the Masterpiece did. It looks more well put together. I think Scrap Hook. Wait, Scrap Heap, Scrap Hook. Which one's the new figure we got? Scrap
Hook. Yeah.
Scrap
Hook.
Okay. I like that a lot. And I like the fact that it's a modular transformer. It's going to break apart and become armor. And I think that works really well with Junkions. And I actually hope we see more Junkions like that, because I'd like to just get a bunch of them and play with them and put them together.
It fits the whole thing.
I liked a lot of the modular transformers they came out with in War for Cybertron. So I'm kind of excited for this, especially because it has a legitimate alt mode. Legitimate alt mode and robot mode, and then pieces. Whereas we had the base formers, we had the dinosaur ones, the fossilizers. The ones in Siege were okay, but they were trying to be the minion bots for the city bots. But I like that this is an actual tow truck, so that looks really cool. Low points: Hotshot. His legs are stupid hollow. And also, it looks like his windshield is coming right up to the top of his thigh. He's going to have no leg articulation whatsoever. And, I just don't like Hotshot. So, not a fan. And Needle Nose. Needle Nose is a low point. That figure looks really hollow. It looks like it's got the simplest transformation. This looks like a G1 transformation. It looks very, very simple. And
yes, and
well, it's fine for a G1 toy, but we're past that.
I'm not.
Okay.
Dr. Pence, you've stolen every point I was going to make.
I'm really sorry. I have 2 more points. Number 1, why is Needle Nose the last double Target Master for the Decepticons we're getting, and it's the only one that came with Target Masters? Quake didn't come with any. Spinister had them, but they came with other packs and whatnot, and they were stupid hard to get a hold of. But no, Needle Nose, we're just going to throw them in there. The core class Dinobots, I think, are kind of fun, and I'm glad they combine into Volcanicus, but I'm really, really hoping that maybe down the line, as a Generation Selects or something, they recolor them as Dino King. I would like to see that. Monstructor Japanese repaint, because they were miniature bots. They were all dinosaurs. Do them. I think that'd be cool. But sorry to steal your thunder there, Mike.
How dare you?
I hope you have other things to bitch about.
Yeah, well, Mike, why don't you go and thunder up on us there for us here?
All right, I can do that. I can follow up that.
Thunder, thunder, thunder.
So, Scott, I know you love the Netflix Soundwave on there, except I paid $80 of my Netflix Soundwave, and I have no desire for another one to come out. But that's just
That's
me.
fair. No, that's fair.
I do want to pre-order that Alpha Trion and Orion Pax one. I know we talked about it before, but I do really like it. That's fun. All of the core class ones I'm going to be skipping out on. And they're core class, they're fun. If you want to get them, cool, that's great. I hope they actually do like you said, like a box set. But I hope, or actually, no, I hope they do like a box set for them at some point. I might pick that up, but they're core class. I'm not really into that right now. I don't hate Hotshot. I mean, it looks kind of cool. You know, it's not for me. I'm just not into it. But yeah, I have no problem with it. Let's give some of the Armada characters some love, and because it is supposed to be a legacy line, supposed to have like all of the lines that have come out. So I don't have a problem with it. I do see what you're saying with the windshield on the back of the legs there. I didn't notice that before. That could be a little rough. Maybe there'll be an alternate transformation or something you can do to help that out. But yeah, I do wish it came with a mini con though, with Jolt. That's really the only big point that I can disagree with. However, with Needle Nose, I totally agree with you. When I first saw Needle Nose, I thought this is kind of cool. I like it, and then I actually looked at it, and I came to the conclusion that if you took off his backpack, he actually looks like a really awesome robot figure and a good representation of Needle Nose. However, the wings look like they're fixed to his back. The thruster looks like it's fixed to his back. The nose cone looks like it's fixed to his back. It looks like it's a robot underneath a plane. And no, just
yeah, and
no. Which is really unfortunate because I'm looking at like his actual like robot like stuff, and he's got a lot of really good things going on with it. Like he's got like the double elbow articulation, which is really nice. He's got wrist articulation, which is really cool. He's got the it looks like the ankle tilts are a little less because of the bulkiness of his shins, but I don't hate it or anything. The joints on the hips, that they're great too. He's got articulation all over the place. He's got a lot of really cool things happening on the robot. Nothing else, like as a robot toy, really cool. As a transformer, no, hard pass.
Jeremy, I'm going to need you to pull out the clip of Mike saying, "I'm looking at his robot stuff."
All right.
I'll accept that.
Just let's mark that, please. Yeah.
All right. Breakdown. I'm passing on Breakdown. No problem with them or anything. I haven't gotten the rest of the Sonicon, so I'm not gonna go in for Breakdown. The spoiler axe thing is kind of neat. Not gonna lie, so that's kind of cool for a weapon. But yeah, that was just not for me. Junk Heap, not Junk Heap. Scrap Hook. God, this is Scrap Hook. I love. I have no problems with any of this. I love the fact that they're doing like the modular transformer with a junkie on. That is 10 kinds of kick ass. Out of all whoever is designing the product line for like the modulator kind of stuff, like the break apart stuff, they're geniuses because they're hitting it good on like literally every part they're hitting. The only one that's even slightly iffy on with the fossilizers, but like whatever, don't care. The bases, the weaponizers, and now these, excellent. Whoever's doing that, Hasbro, if you're listening, keep on going. I approve. We already talked about Tarn. I love Tarn. And Scott, yeah. Lio Convoy or Lio Prime. That's a big no. That's a
That's
big
fair.
no for me. And you already mentioned one of the biggest reasons I hate that figure is the derpy lion face.
Yeah.
It just, ugh. It's got some amazing box art where like this white and gold lion and this epic pose just roaring. It looks so great. And then you see the actual lion toy,
I know.
and it's just awful. I don't like the way the legs work in the beast mode, and I dislike how massive those like forepaws and the little claw things are under his arm. Just the torso and the head, I will say, look good.
I'm gonna make an argument for the forepaws that is cartoon accurate.
And it was shit then too.
How dare you? It was
But
a
that is what they
masterpiece.
said they were going for.
Yeah.
Do either of you own the original toy?
I do.
I'm showing it
And-
off on
Okay.
here.
And
Yeah, okay.
it's accurate to the original.
It's accurate to the original toy too.
And it looks shit on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do enjoy the original Lio Convoy figure. It's got its flaws here and there, but I do enjoy it as a toy. This though, it looks like a cheap imitation of it. I'm sorry, it just it does.
Mike, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's, and we're gonna talk about this at some point because we have an episode planned about this. But I felt that way about the majority of the Kingdom Beast Wars figures. But
Yeah,
again, it's a character that doesn't get a whole lot of American representation. So if you're gonna throw a character I love out there, I'm gonna get it just to be like, here's my
Sure.
money, give me more.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
I really can.
I agree with your criticisms to an extent. Like I get it, and I don't think this is going to be anyone's favorite figure from this line.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeremy? Some highlights and some lowlights from you.
Well, I mean, as you said earlier in the show, I like everything. So I don't know. I don't really have too much to complain about. I'm not as picky on details as the rest of you. I do admit that the lion mode of Leo Convoy is not the best, but they were going for the animation accuracy, and 80s animation was not the best. So maybe they hit their mark.
That was late 90s, just so you know.
Yeah.
I've never seen the
No excuses.
Yeah,
Just no
whatever.
excuses for it.
Anyway, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to really get a low light. Like the core class, they are what they are. I mean, you can't really criticize them too much. Although Sludge's robot mode just is awful. With it looks like he's got like holsters on the side of his legs or something. I'm not the biggest Armada fan, so Hotshot is not one that really interests me, but I'm happy that he exists because alt mode, you know, there are a good number of alt mode fans that I'm sure are very happy for it. So I'm happy for them. But I am excited for Tarn. I think Tarn just looks great, and I think they probably spent extra engineering resources on Tarn to make sure it was as good as it could be.
Yeah.
It looks so good. Scrap Heap. I think making the Junkions.
Scrap Hook.
Oh, sorry, Scrap Hook. But making the Junkions kind of fit into that weaponizer class that they've been doing, I think it's smart. It fits the like, you know, all Junkions should be modular, just in general. I mean, have a Rekgar that has an arm from another bot because it fits. So I think that's really cool. And then the Shatterglass Soundwave I think looks great, and I like how they talked about the headband on the stream and how it was never going to be. Well, I don't think they even mentioned like soft goods, but they mentioned like soft plastic, and it was never going to be that. So doing it as basically just a headband, I think that's fine. And really, I mean, when I think of like 80s headbands were kind of popular, among like what I would see if Shatterglass Soundwave was Soundwave in the 80s, I could see him wearing a headband. It's like he would be having like a jazzercise class or something. So I think it fits. And you get the minions, and Shatterglass Ravage has like taken a life of its own online thanks to David Willis, and I think it's awesome that we get an official version of that. So for the most part, I am happy about what they revealed with very few complaints.
Right on. Well, I'm gonna go quickly through our next couple pieces. So this piece of art that we referenced was shown off at the start of the stream, just to kind of show that this is the box art for the Legacy Evolutions boxes, and you see all of the figures we just talked about, and a couple more. So you got to look in there, and you can see a couple that are being teased. But there's one glaring one right at the top of the screen, at the middle, at the top of the image. And Jeremy, I'm going to let you talk about this one because I think you may be more invested than I think anyone ever in the world.
If this is not a deluxe class Armada Prime that is superposable and very bendy, I will be very upset, and I will complain vigorously on Twitter. Have you heard about Twitter? It's a place where you can complain vigorously about things.
I've heard there are complaints on Twitter. That is the new comment box.
But it definitely does look like it's definitely Armada Prime. To me, it looks like the bendy Prime version of the character. If it is going to be a large, bulky version with trailer, I will be very upset.
We've gotten to the point though where they could make us a bendy Prime that's superposable and still have it combined with the trailer. We have the technology. It is possible.
But that means I'll be paying, $60, $70 when all I want is the Prime. I don't care about the trailer. I have the Armada Prime with the trailer in a bin somewhere. I have no interest in it at all. It's just give me the posable bendy Prime because it is such a cool design, and I love everything about it except for the knee problem where you have to like flip the knee around.
Well, let's go through a couple of these other ones here that I can see now. Off the top of my head, the ones that I see that have not been announced and are just being teased on here, we've got a swoop right under right. Yep. You're funny. I mean, it's nobody's told you before. I'm going to tell you now. You're a funny guy. Up in the top right corner, there are the Quintesson ship, and was it I can never remember the Nemesis, right? So we've got two new ships in a world where the Ark is now a transformer. It does not go without thinking that we may get another ship turning into something. Speculation is running that this giant Decepticon looking head in the middle is actually the head of the Nemesis in robot mode. Now we're getting ones here that are already in existing in the line. So we already have Kickback in Legacy, but we do see a bombshell, and we see a scrapnel here. And
Shrapnel, they got the name back.
Oh, did they get name back? Okay, cool. Yeah. So Shrapnel, great. So will we get the rest of them in this line? I assume we will. We also right down in front, we've got the Junkions. Now, it looks like we're going to get another motorcycle here at some point because they are doing the modulator thing here, and they've got Scrap Hook combined with two front wheels of two different motorcycles, and then one of them on a sidecar. So I think the one on the the right hand side of the screen, I think that's the actual figure. So it's a motorcycle with a sidecar and some guns on top. And then on the far left hand side of the picture, you were getting the front of Scrap Hook. And then there's another motorcycle over here with somebody riding them. So I think there's a bunch here. Does anybody see anything I'm missing?
Is this one here a certain bounty hunter? The spiky car? I can't remember the name. Lockdown. Yeah.
You think that's Lockdown? That's the one I was talking about where it looks like it's the front of Scrap Hook.
I think that's another one. They've also talked about Detritus getting a figure who is a
that's the Hound remold or Hound
repaint.
But
I mean they could also just redo that as a new character or a new figure too.
Sure. Yeah.
This image is weird because if you look at the one that was posted on TFW 2005 and the original one, there's the figure right below Needle Nose and Lyle Convoy. It looks blue and it looks like Skids, but the original image, it's gray, so it's got to be cross-cut.
Here, hold on. Let me find
which
tab that was on.
I didn't mention it though, in that this image was produced by longtime Transformers artist and box artist Marcelo Mater. Yeah. So you can definitely you can see that he's doing a lot more Transformers work now. Yeah, so I see the crosscut there. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the Insecticons, it does look like it's a little hard to see, but I'm pretty sure I see a oh my God, what's his name? The Chop Shop. It looks like there might be a Chop Shop in there and possibly a Barrage.
Okay. Well, I think we did see in one of those lists that they were going to do the deluxe Insecticons again. So,
I mean, we already have Ransack. Is that the one that was in the 4-pack?
Yes.
Locust. Yep. Okay. So they should finish those out.
Yep.
Why is Laser Prime in this?
Because they have some of the existing. Because
he came out. Yeah. So I mean, we've got some of the existing ones. There's over here where Crosscut is. They've repainted him as Skids, right? So that's and then you've got Grimlock and you've got Slug and so there are some existing ones here.
Yeah, I wish they had put somebody different there, but
they could. I mean, they could re-release them in the line too.
What is this behind Leo Prime?
I think that's an animated space bridge.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Is that it? I thought that's what that looked like.
I like the whole concept of all of these characters are like coming out of portals from their realities.
Mm-hmm.
If only there was a show to go along with this.
So when I see the big Decepticon face in the background, my first thought actually wasn't like the Nemesis or anything like that. It was actually like it was Tarn. I mean,
right.
I know
I think that's what everyone was supposed to think.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't match the face or anything, but I if they do a Nemesis like ship, I am down immediately. Like the Arc was I think the first Titan that I actually pre-ordered the moment it was announced, and I would do the same thing for the Nemesis.
Really?
Yeah.
The Arc was the first Titan that I could care less about, so I did not want it once whatsoever.
If you look at the face, I mean, it seems more like the face of the Arc in terms of just structure and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I can see
I feel
that.
like it is the face of the Nemesis.
Because the Arc's face mimics the Autobot logo, correct? A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Just coincidentally they released this at the same time that they released the the Tarn figure.
Right.
Yeah.
Trixie.
Mm-hmm. So moving on from this, I just want to kind of finish us up here because we're kind of running long already. We got two Instagram posts. One's from Evan Brooks on on Instagram. He's the designer, Evan, and he posted a picture of Core Class Optimus alongside Core Class Slug and Sludge, just to kind of show you the size class of these guys, and so how they scale up. And they're Core Class. They are the same. And then his last picture, or one of the pictures here, he's got him kind of set up in how they would fit together in their combined mode. So very cool. Another one here is from Mark Marr on Instagram as well, and he's done a little series with Tarn, so you get to see Tarn in a bunch of things, and obviously he's put some blast effects on Tarn. It does not look like Tarn is going to come with any blast effects, from what I could see from the box. But
nice light piping.
But he looks great. He really does. Yeah. And lastly, we've got a tweet from James Roberts, who on seeing the news of Tarn being brought into the main line, credited Alex Milne, and also mentioning the first appearance in More Than Meets the Eye number 7, and mentioned how he was very excited to see his first original creation get to be an action figure. So very cool. And that's it. That's all I've got here. Jeremy, I'm gonna throw it back to you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw it to trips to the store, which I'm pressing the wrong button. Charles,
now.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right. And Trips to the Store is where we show off everything we got this week. And as always, Trips to the Store is brought to you by our merch store with TeePublic. So if you go to transmissionspodcast.com, you can get all sorts of awesome shirts. Not only the ones that we have, you can get like the one I'm wearing here that's like Witwicky Garage. So it is a TeePublic shirt I got using our link from somewhere else. I see Dr. Pants has one of our shirts. Daryl, I think, has one of our shirts. And Mike.
I'm cold. I need a sweatshirt.
Yeah, Mike lives in the Northeast, so he's cold.
I live in the frigid wastes of the Arctic.
Right. So TeePublic often has sales, so check it out when you go there. If they're having a sale, you'll see a banner across the top. Be sure to use that code and save some money. And yeah, I mean, they make great stuff. So with that out of the way, let's get into what we got this week. I got nothing, so we're going to skip me. And we didn't talk about ahead of time who has what. So
we did.
We actually did.
You weren't here.
Well, I wasn't here,
weren't here.
So
and I just sent you the order, but that's okay. You're not looking there. So I'm next.
I am looking at StreamYard, Daryl.
I'm not looking at StreamYard. I'll send it in Discord, but I'll go next. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Then.
There we go.
Yay. It's me. Hi, everybody. I got 2 comic books to start off with. First up, a book that I guess you guys talked about without me. I got Shattered Glass number 2. This is the cover A, which I don't remember who did this cover. Dan Kana did this cover. This is I like this cover a lot. And so we got Shattered Glass, Blaster, and Soundwave on this one. So Soundwave's in it.
Before we go on, since you mentioned Shattered Glass, Soundwave, I forgot the retailer incentive. I guess that's an alt mode, isn't it?
It's an alt mode discussion, sir.
Okay, never mind.
Alt mode discussion. Settle down.
Okay, sorry.
This trips to the store.
Yeah. You can edit that.
And the other comic I bought this one because I'm going to be at TFCon Chicago, and one of the artists that will be there in attendance is featured in this book. This is Savage Dragon number 24. This is the first published work of a Mr. Casey Collar.
Oh, nice.
So he appears in the letters page of this book with a picture of Savage Dragon.
Wow.
So this is the book, Savage Dragon number 24. I have a couple toys. First up, I got a G1. This is one I didn't really chase all that much. I was like, if it comes in, I'll pick it up if I come across it for a good price, because I already have one and it doesn't have the the bonuses that this one has, but I'll And then I found Target Master Cup, and this one is in gorgeous condition, absolutely gorgeous condition. And I've already got a regular cup, so why do I need a Target Master Cup? But he's a different figure, so I gotta have a Target Master version of the regular versions. So yeah, I got him. He looks great. He's complete, and yeah, his stickers are like immaculate. So I'm really happy to have this one. And yeah, look at that head on him. He's
oh my god,
super thin head. Whew. Yeah,
someone sliced off the back end.
Yeah. And the other one I've got, this is one that I've been saving. I've just kind of had it sitting on a shelf because I got it when I met up with Charles and Jeremy at TFCon Toronto. This is Studio Series. Can't remember the number.
20.
Is it 20?
You just
on the other side.
Other side.
Other side.
Oh, 20. Hey, there it is. Okay. Studio Series 20. This is Bumblebee. This is one of the this is the number volume 2 Retro Pop Highway edition. So it's got this I Love the 80s sleeve on it. And when you take it off, you get Bumblebee in his little tape box. And yeah, so that's the Bumblebee in there. He's the Volkswagen Beetle that appears in the movie, but he's kind of gold color, so maybe he's a gold bug. But the reason why I really wanted this is because it's got the little box here, or the little drawer that opens up, and inside are the reissues of those Dino cassettes, those Japanese exclusive Dino cassettes. And yeah, these things got real hot real quick, and I was really happy to be able to secure these through Charles. So thanks, Charles.
Cassettes that were on the double card.
I think so. I now own all 3 different times that they were re-released, and I can't remember which ones were done which way. But I know that there were 2 different ones done, because the other Bumblebee also had Dino cassettes in them as well. I think they were done in like translucent, or these ones are translucent. I'm not entirely sure. But and then the ones that were released on the card, which is right there, it's they're just done like the exact same as they were originally. But either way, I'm pretty happy to have this. It's another one of those movie Studio Series figures that I swore that I'd never get, and I now own. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, I see the post now in Discord. So Mike, you're up next. What do you got?
I thought I was going last, but I guess I'm not.
It says specifically here, Dr. Pants, last.
Oh, maybe I screwed that up. So maybe it is Mike last. I don't know. I don't remember. Mike, you want to go last? Go last. There's no rules. Charles isn't here.
No Charles.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm going now. All right.
You were overruled by Daryl.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm still ahead. I'm still like after Daryl, so I'm good.
Just make Mike cry with what you have to show.
It's not that big. I only got 3 things, but the first one is I got Commander Class Motormaster, so he's in Menasor mode because that's where he'll be. Mm-hmm. No yellowing. I already got drag.
Lucky.
I got drag strip on him, and I kind of love the whole exoskeleton thing they got going on with this. It makes it super solid, and I think he looks great because the Combiner Wars one sucks. Yeah, I've got the G2 version of the Combiner Wars one, and I don't want it anymore. I got this.
Well, good news. Looks like there's a G2 version of this one coming out.
I know.
Scott, I'll take that G2 one from you.
Really? Okay. Good. It's gone.
I'm not going to pay for it. I'm just going to take it from you.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. So you might notice here that I've got my Masterpiece Star Saber over here, and it's because I was messing around with him, but that's also because I got another Star Saber. I got Iron Trans Starblade because I love Star Saber, and honestly, this thing looks fantastic. He is so much die cast, so solid. Everything is painted. He looks absolutely beautiful, and like honestly, which one looks better? This one. This one looks better.
One on the left looks whiter.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pure white plastic. This is like painted white plastic. So it's glossy. I still love the
If the paint is white, it won't yellow.
Yeah, no, like everything is painted on him, and he's really, really cool. Also, look at the sword. It's actually big enough. This thing is impressive. Because that's the other thing. This is the big sword on the Masterpiece. This is not big. This is tiny. I want the big one. But this figure is really, really cool. He does have a Brainmaster with him, but he doesn't have the Brainmaster gimmick where you close the chest and the face moves up like the Masterpiece. But there's a Brainmaster in there. But figure's really cool. Does all the transformation and everything. And they are planning on doing a Victory Leo. So down the road, I will pick that up to go with this. But
planning.
Yeah, planning. Well, they were planning to do it before the pandemic hit, so that might have hiccuped a few things. But my last thing, Daryl, I'm showing it off just for you, and I made sure while I was No. Is that what you want? Do you want to see my butt?
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, it's what it's what the people want. Can you not see the comments?
That will be on.
No one in the comments is saying, "Yeah, Dr. Pants," but Daryl,
what?
I got a Unicron trilogy figure.
Oh, great.
Well, I was
got me all excited.
That looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
Yeah,
kind of, yeah. No, I specifically picked this up because Daryl said the next time I was on, there better not be any Unicron trilogy stuff. And I was like, well, I can't disappoint now. I got Dive Bomb. He was actually I needed to pick this up because it was the last of the Terracons I needed. So I found it. It was like $5, and I'm like, all right, cool. So there you go. That's all I got. That's all.
Those Star Sabers, those are big bots, man.
Yes, it's almost like we should do. Well, maybe we should wait for another one to come out, and then we could do a nice big episode to celebrate it.
Which
I'm on the fence whether I'm going to open mine. So
really, oh, why? Because it's white.
Maybe, but I have enough Star Sabers to actually to contribute, so I could talk.
I know you have at least one. I don't. So
yep.
Yeah,
I definitely have another one too. I have a fairly rare one.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's black.
Ooh. Okay.
Anyway,
Mike.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Make my cry.
My Star Saber actually is the Planet X version, and I really love that. And I love that they're coming out with the Victory Leo the Victory Leo pretty soon.
Coming out.
It's scheduled for like this month or next month.
Well,
I
just looked and it still says winter 2022. So
on Big Bad Toy Store, it's October.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about getting it. So.
Yeah, you should, because the Star Saber is a beautiful figure and that looks awesome. Anyway, so I got the latest, or one of the latest ones in the latest books in the IDW Phase 2 collection. I'm slowly making my way to finish up that one. So that's number 11 in the Phase 2 collection.
Oh, appropriate with today's toy reveal.
Exactly, right? Worked out perfect. So I grabbed that off of Amazon, so that is good. Renegade Games shipped me the first expansion for the deck building game, the Infiltration Protocol. So the last one left is the Dinobot expansion, which I think is early next year or later this year or something. So that is fun. I've already looked at that. Now I have I have two more things to show, and one is, and I'm going to do the first one, which is a bit of a story here. So I ordered the stamps from the Royal Mail for Transformers, and not only did I order the stamps, I actually ordered a couple of like the printed envelopes that they did too. They were like 50 cents a piece. I'm like, sure, why not? I'll go ahead and do that. So I got sent the envelopes along with the in the little collector's card thing. So that's kind of cool. The Dinobots one. And the Optimus Prime one, it's a little bit bent, which I was a bit kind of pissed about, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But when I opened
It's
up,
too bad their manager died.
Oh jeez! Oh God! Wow! Damn, Daryl! Damn!
Wow.
She was our manager too, as I'm allowed to say that.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway, so I opened up the package that's containing the stamps, and there's something missing from this package. No stamps. The envelope, when I got it, was already opened, and the stamps were missing.
Oh, that sucks.
Someone stole your stamps?
Yep. Well, maybe someone stole it, or I don't want to assume the worst. Maybe like the glue let go on the package or something. It opened up and the stamps just like slid right out.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah,
Is there
like
did you
45
try
pounds.
contacting them?
I haven't yet because actually I just got these on Friday, so I figured they weren't open on Saturdays for customer service. So I'm gonna send them an email or a call or something on Monday, and maybe they'll do a refund or something. I don't know. I mean, it's like 45 pounds worth, like 45 pounds for like the two sets that I got, and it's like, God, if it was like $5, like whatever, screw it. But
Right.
it was a significant amount, and it's disheartening. So I hope I can get it resolved and actually can get the two sets. So, but I don't want to end on a bad note, so I'm going to show you the last thing I got. This bad boy arrived just last week, and I got to back up because this is a big one.
Oh man.
The King of Snipers Prime that they were out, the life-size like sniper rifle, like Prime-esque figure they released. This is not like close to the camera. This is like right under my chin. This thing is like just over like 3 feet long. Actually, I think it's closer to 4 feet long. And it is a massive, massive beast. I love this so much. And we can look on here and I can get a bit closer for it. So it's got a little compartment over here. If I can get the damn thing open. Come on. Scintillating radio. I know, guys. There we go. A little compartment open, and the bullet, like the little airsoft bullet, goes into the little chamber. Boop, pops in there. There's a little lever for it on here to lock that in place, and it actually shoots out.
You better do it right now. I mean,
yeah, for all the people
you got a whole bunch of figures set up behind you to shoot down.
And let's see if you can actually see it come out on here.
Nope.
What? All right. Well, that's unfortunate.
Send it back.
Send it back. It was working today. It's got a bit of performance anxiety. It's okay.
It happens to us all.
It happens to us all. Yep. And one more try, just in case it was.
There we go.
There it went.
There you go.
I saw it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Super fast. But yep. The scope actually is a little magnifying scope too. So when you look through it, actually does enhance, like it zooms in a little bit on what you're looking at. So yeah, it is a beautiful figure, and is so cool and so inexpensive too. Couldn't believe it was just like 110, and it's like that big, and it's like, damn.
What's the quality feel like?
That's what I was gonna ask.
solid, like absolutely solid too. Like there's no like loose joints or anything on this. Everything like pins together pretty close. There's like one or two little small gaps here and there, but
But
yeah,
the
you can
the quality of the plastic, it doesn't feel like shitty dollar store plastic. It feels good.
no, it feels solid. It feels like a real figure. Like you can kind of see like on the bottom of the handle, like where it doesn't like 100% like close in.
Mhm.
But I mean, even like this entire thing is just one cut piece, like as it goes through that like snaps together. And as you can see, like it is like you can see the seams on it, but it is solid like all the way through.
How's the transformation?
Excellent. I mean, you can kind of see it like a little bit here. It's a somewhat of a simplistic transformation because it's just needs to kind of like fold a bit, but like like the feet, shins, upper legs, hips, torso, upper arms, lower arms. So, and all of this stuff on the bottom here like folds in and folds out of the limbs. So,
Cool.
yeah, really really
It's
cool
neat.
figure.
Mm-hmm. It's. I just looked. It's up on Amazon. You can buy it from Amazon.
Yep.
Amazon will ship that to you in
Yeah.
gun mode.
No, it comes in robot mode.
Okay.
I could order it now and it would be here for Tuesday. Don't do this to me, Mike.
I will say that out of any figure that I've purchased in the last like couple of years, this is one of the fewest like the least regrets I have. Like some figures like I've picked up and it's like, damn, it's expensive and it's just not that great and everything. But this here, low price, great quality figure, working like airsoft
And
gun.
in a dark room, you could scare an intruder.
Yep.
They would have no idea.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, like I can't sing his praises enough.
That's very cool.
And it comes with like 12 bullets too. It comes with like 12 of these little guys.
You mean 11 now?
Yeah, because apparently my cat found one and is playing with it. Hey, stop that. Stop that. Jesus. Okay, that's rubber. You don't want to play with that. Okay.
Very cool, Mike. Very cool. That's awesome.
All right. Well, I think with that, we will move out of trips to the store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right. We're gonna quickly jump into convention news. I mean, there's really only one thing here to show. So, TFCon has announced the return of the third-party panel, which I mean, I think we all expected. They are putting out a call to all third-party product manufacturers to contribute to their presentation. So let's hope that we get a lot of new stuff here, because I think a lot of the recent ones have been things we already knew about. And let's bring back some of the surprises and unexpected reveals in the third-party panel. So that is all we got for convention news this week. TFCon is coming up in just a few weeks, so be ready for that. And
And we'll be there.
Yes, we will.
Jeremy and I will be there. The rest of these idiots aren't going there, but that's their fault. They don't want to go. They don't think it's fun.
I got a concert I'm going to. Shit.
Concert.
Chicago is
Hey,
far.
Listen to the songs on the way. That's what a
You know
stereo
what
is
Daryl
for.
and I are gonna
Not
do?
the same.
See, I think Daryl and I, we're gonna go see Shazam, or not Shazam. We're gonna see Black Adam when we're there. It opens the same weekend.
That's DC. I mean, come on.
It's
The Rock.
I don't know if The Rock can even save DC, but we'll see. If
He's
he can.
trying. All right. Well, let's move on into some feedback. All right. So in feedback, we have from episode 504. I believe we mentioned this last week, but we didn't have time to get to it. Our friend Dual Mirror Gridwork sent another post. I'm just going to summarize because his posts tend to be quite long, even when he doesn't try to be long. But we love you guys. We kid because we love. But he was asking what our favorite parts of the fiction are: cartoons, comics, and he doubts this with the live action films. Like what part and why? He likes the Unicron Primus part of the fiction because it gives an origin to the mechanical life, and he felt that it always has to come from something opposite from that. The natural occurring pulleys and gears. He's always wondered about that in the comic. Then there's the quintessence, which has a questionable origin out there, and then what made the Allspark cube. So I mean, I guess we can go around with us. What are the favorite parts of the fiction for you guys? Dr. Pants, let's start with you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, obviously, like, I'm a big Beast Wars guy because that was more my childhood, honestly, than Generation 1. Just the Beast Wars in general, because it kind of went back to Generation 1 and connected with it and everything. So just like all that in general, I really like. But I'm gonna say, like, one of my favorite things right now is I'm really getting into the Japanese Generation 1 series, and like I'm watching Super God Master Force, and I'm loving it. And the sole reason is because I had a lot of the 87, 88, 89 toys, and they did, like, a lot of those, the Power Masters, the Seacons and everything, they didn't really appear in the Generation 1 cartoon, but now I get to watch a cartoon, and like these characters I played with as a kid are showing up on the screen, and it's like, oh yeah, it's Piranha-Con, this is awesome, oh, it's Getaway, yeah. And like it's stuff I wish I could have seen as a kid, and I'm really, really enjoying that. So they're probably that. I like the cartoons like that. I think it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Mike, how about you?
So for me, I didn't even realize this until I actually started seeing it in the comics, was like the politics of Cybertron. I think the reason I like it so much is because it does what true sci-fi does, is it kind of shines a light on like our own state of being, our own like state of humanity, but it does it in a more safe way because alien robots, you can do whatever you want with that, and the story can be what it is. So when like the more like political kind of like very heavy story and lore driven sections of the comic came up, especially in uh the original Robots in Disguise comic, I really, really loved that, like how they started exploring that, and how they took the story away from effectively a Civil War story and actually brought it into like what I consider more modern times. So
Mm-hmm.
that was and continues to be like my favorite part of it, even in the latest iteration of IDW. I loved like the build up of it, and I love like the pre-war kind of like political maneuvering. So that's
Cool.
always been my favorite.
Awesome. Daryl, how about you?
Well, I mean, it's tough, but the fiction is I want to say the G1 cartoon, but that's the fiction, and that is kind of garbage. It just established all of the characters that we know. I'm not a yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the fiction that I really like is the fiction I've kind of built it up in my head. So I've kind of amalgamized a bunch of the cartoons and a lot of the comics in my own head canon, and that's kind of where I live with it. If I had to pick one thing, it would be the G1 cartoon, because that's really what I went back to over and over and over again. But as far as the comics go, it was that first run of More Than Meets the Eye that really stuck with me, because I do remember reading it as it was coming out and being extremely excited for each issue. Um, you know, up until a point when it kind of went off the rails a little bit. But there was a point in time in that middle where every issue was a home run, and I was really happy with that. But yeah, it's frankly for me, the fiction has always been secondary to the toys for me. It's not a big deal. It's if the toys are good, then I'll the fiction is really not that big of a concern.
Mm-hmm. I think I kind of lie similar to Mike in like I love the political history that's built up, particularly in the Phase 2 era of the comics. But even things like um, the addition of like all the primes and the backstories, like the mythology that they've built up for this fictional universe, it seems like it's more, I guess, like you said, sci-fi and kind of a real universe. Like you look at Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, all of these science fiction and fantasy um like universes have their own history built up, and I love seeing that, particularly around Transformers. And I mean, I think it even goes back to the G1 cartoon when you got the episodes like the Key to Vector Sigma and stuff, and you're like, they're adding like little bits here and there. So I guess that's what I would say here.
I'll
Uh,
I'll I'll add on one more thing to that because I'm kind of with Mike on this too. Anytime in the fiction that it's not about the Civil War and we get to see the Transformers doing other things,
yes,
I really like that.
we've had so much on the actual war itself. Let's tell other stories, and that's what I liked about the Ruckley run. I like the ideas that he was putting there. It's just the pacing and everything was just not conducive for that. If it was a novel, it would have been great because you get it all in one shot and you're good. But anyway, if you would like to leave us feedback, particularly like about any of that PulseCon reveals, go to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. Can leave us written feedback like DMG did, or what we'd really prefer, give us some voicemails. There's a little widget there that you can leave us voicemails, and we will play them on the show and answer any questions or anything that you have to say there. You can just say it in your voice, and we won't mispronounce anything. So that is, I think, everything we got for the show. But before we go, we need to thank our masterpiece Donatrons. These are the Donatrons that contribute at the highest level, and one of the perks is we get to call them out and talk about how awesome they are in every show. And right now we are calling out John Forex Levingood and Demon Tech 82. Thank you both for all your contributions to the show. And thank you to Mike and Dr. Pants. I mean, it takes a lot to fill in for Charles, and I guess, well, Mike, it was your week, but Dr. Pants also filling in. So Mike, what do you got going on right now?
Well, I got Empire of Rust going on, and I want every single one of you, yes, I'm talking to you, to listen to it and to give it a shot. Awesome. Anyway, a bit of visual humor for the listeners there. Daryl was looking around and is like, "Well, who's he talking about? I don't know." Yes, you
Gotta watch the YouTube video.
But yeah, so it's, and I actually have to issue a very slight correction for you there, Jeremy, because by the time this goes out, we are not the one and only Transformers RPG podcast. Renegade Games has actually started doing a Let's Play for their system. So, but the new tagline is the first and greatest Transformers RPG podcast.
We will make sure that Charles knows so he can update the docs. We are not capable of doing that. But it's awesome that they are doing it. You know, it would be nice to have maybe some collaboration. Maybe you could talk to them. We know they have microphones now. So anyway, that's awesome. Dr. Pants, how are things at Nerdstradamus?
Getting better. We were on a little bit of a hiatus. Not much was going on there, but we were back to doing videos, doing streaming and everything. So make sure to check us out at nerdstradamus.com or youtube.com/nerdstradamus, because it is now October. It's spoopy month, as we say. So we're into playing some horror games. We've been playing Phasmophobia on stream. We just played, I'm going to forget the name. It's, I think, Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Which doesn't sound scary, but it was terrifying. It was terrifying. So go check out that stream from last Friday and join us on Wednesdays and Thursdays as we stream. And whatever new episodes we put out, who knows what we'll do. It's whenever we feel like.
Awesome. And I guess you can find us on Twitter as well. I know Daryl likes the Twitter. Our podcast is Transmissions with no A. So it's TRNSMISSIONS. Daryl is Cybertron Beast. Mike is Minervian. Dr. Pants is Dr. Pants 1412. And I am yakko.org with a 0 for the first O. YKK0.org. And that is it for our show. So thanks for listening to Transmissions. And if you want to hear the rest of the Pulse Con stuff, listen to Alt Mode on Friday. We'll have all the comic and media news that they announced. So thanks for listening. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, all.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.